stole our voice but not our breath. We've stared you down, we've tasted death. You sold our land, betrayed our name, called us thugs, then hid your shame.
You pause and our children rewrite our past. You flood our streets, erase us fast. But every line and every scar just fuels the fire you've pushed too far. We won't back down, we won't give in. This is our home and we fight to win. You lie, you cheat, you rule through fear, but the clock is ticking, our time is near. We won't back down, we won't retreat. We stand as one and we won't be beat. So mark our words, make no mistake. You've poked the beast, now it's wide awake.
Hello everybody, my name is Steve Little. I'm the station manager and co-founder of Dreamcatcher Radio. I'm also a presenter. On Sunday the 28th of September we were invited along to the farmers' demonstration in Liverpool, where the Labour Party were holding their annual conference. The following is a recording of the events of the day and the events leading up to why the farmers were protesting at the very doors of the Labour Party conference. You'll see in the video there'll be lots of different pictures, lots of different clips, there will be music, you'll be able to hear the speeches that were given, and you'll be able to pick up the anger and the frustration, not just from the farmers and their families, but from the people who work on the farms, and from also from the public themselves. I was absolutely amazed at the response that was given on that particular day. And from our perspective at Dreamcatcher Radio, we want to be able to share those feelings that people had on the day. This documentary, like I say, will be full of pictures, music, interviews, and many, many other things for the day's events. Yes, it's a little bit long, but we need to understand that we need to stand with our farmers. It is so important. They need us just as much as we need them. The inheritance tax that has been imposed on the farmers is unfair. You will hear tragic stories. You will also hear how families fear for the future of their industry. You'll also hear firsthand the truth about what would really happen to farmers. You'll also hear, even though the mainstream media will want to tell you that they're wealthy, farmers are wealthy and they're well off and there's not an issue, it's not true. They might have asset wealth, but when it comes to profit, they don't. So we are opening up the whole issue of why the farmers are protesting to this government and to the extremely unfair inheritance tax they have imposed on them after they said that they would support the farmers and the farming industry and anything to do with agriculture. You'll also hear how the big supermarkets are making the prices so ridiculously low, and they're being supported by the government as well. This is an independent documentary for Dreamcatcher Radio, simply called Standing With Our Farmers. Please feel free to leave any comments in the comments below, and yeah, let's have a discussion, but let's find out the real truth of how it really affects our farmers. My name's Steve Little, the station manager at Dreamcatcher Radio. We'll be using music, but we will give credit as to who that music has come from or where that music has come from. Please watch and learn the real truth and not what the mainstream media and the government would have you think. We believe in free speech, and it's only because of free speech we get the truth. I stand with our farmers.
Through sorrow and pain, though shadows may gather, the truth will remain. The soul of this country still runs in our veins. So lift up your voice, let the silence break. For love of our country, for our children's sake, our time is now, with truth in our eyes. Together we stand, together we rise. No more hiding, no turning away. The strength of our people will show us the way. For those who came before, for those yet to be, we carry their spirit to keep Britain free. So lift up your voice, let the silence break. For love of our country, for our children's sake.
The recent announcement by Labour's Chancellor Rachel Reeves regarding inheritance tax reforms has provoked significant backlash from the agricultural community, particularly from well-known figures like Jeremy Clarkson and Kirsty Allsop. Effective April 2026, the reforms will limit inheritance tax relief for agricultural and business assets to $1 million. While the first $1 million will remain exempt from inheritance tax, any value exceeding this threshold will be taxed at an effective rate of 20%. This change is seen as a substantial financial burden for farming families, many of whom depend on the ability to pass down their businesses without incurring heavy tax liabilities. Clarkson, famous for his show Clarkson's Farm, has been vocal in his criticism, claiming that the new tax policies could lead to the demise of family farms. He expressed frustration over the government's lack of understanding regarding the challenges faced by farmers, stating that they have been unfairly treated by these reforms. Allsop has also condemned the changes, arguing that they threaten the future of family-run farms by making it difficult for owners to pass their businesses to the next generation. She characterised the decision as a severe blow to rural communities and the agricultural sector. The National Farmers Union and other agricultural organisations have expressed strong opposition to the reforms, warning that they could force families to sell land or assets to pay tax bills, thereby undermining the viability of family farms. Critics argue that these changes could lead to a significant decline in family-owned farms, disrupting local food production and threatening the sustainability of rural economies. In summary, the inheritance tax reforms proposed by Rachel Reeves have sparked widespread outrage among farmers and agricultural advocates, who fear that these changes will jeopardise the future of family farming in the UK.
Farmers, and I've got Kathleen with me. Kathleen, thank you so much for agreeing to the interview. Why are you here today?
We're here to rally near the Labour Party conference. We've brought the coffin with us. The date on it is the budget last year. It represents how we feel about what the government are doing to British farming. We're part of the grassroots group Farmers to Action. And we're going to be having a rally just up the road shortly. There'll be lots of speeches. We just feel that farming won't survive. We feel that IHT should be abolished for all. Farms can't survive that. We don't make a big enough margin to be able to pay even, the government have said over 10 years, but that's not possible. People are making like a 1.5% profit on their asset, and the IHT on its own would be like 2% per year if it's 20% over 10 years. So, you don't have to be a mathematician to realise that that's not going to work.
So that would take a substantial amount from the farmers themselves, wouldn't it?
Well, what would need to happen is people would either have to sell part of their assets, so sell off some land, or sell off some stock to be able to pay the bill, which is just not possible.
Okay, no, that's great.
Thank you so
no,
much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We're just here, guys, because they're just waiting for the tractors to arrive, and the guys are going to stand out in the front with the coffin, and they're going to walk in front of it, and there's a wreath as well, signifying the death of the farming industry from the budget. You know what?
You see the tractors?
We will fight till the death because we love what we do. We produce the food for those that are trying to tax us, and if they think that we're going to give up, we're not giving up.
We could stop the country, and I don't think they realise that. So we're not giving up.
We're not going to be able to afford to continue. The inheritance tax is going to finish us off.
All are honest, hard-working, easy targets. Tax them, tax them, tax them, tax them. Tax them to death. And it's not right.
This government is screwing the British agriculture, the fishing industry, the haulage, and all the power and infrastructure of the country. And without that, we can't continue.
What would you say to Keir Starmer if you could have a quick word with him?
I just wish he'd never been born. I can't stand the bloody man. He is the worst Prime Minister we've ever had in this country.
He's not listened to us. He doesn't know the struggles that we go through. He doesn't understand it. He's not tried to listen to us. He said that he's not going to tax the working man. Well, what is the working man? I don't think there's anything else to describe a working man than a farmer.
This inheritance tax has come in, has made things basically the last nail in the coffin. If this tax goes ahead, there will be no food in the supermarkets for them.
Why are you here, Mr. Clarkson?
Well, because I'm here to support farmers.
Right. Are you angry?
It's difficult to be angry on somebody else's behalf. That's like being... Yes, no, I'm not angry on someone else's behalf.
Right. So it's not about you. It's not about your farm and the fact that you bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax.
Classic BBC there. Classic.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. It's not the fact that I bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax. The fact.
You told the Sunday Times in 2021 that's why you bought it.
These people.
Sorry?
BBC. OK, let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
I wanted a shoot. OK? That's even worse to the BBC. I wanted a shoot, which comes with the benefit of not having to pay inheritance tax. Now I do. But people like me will simply put it in a trust. And so long as I live for 7 years, that's fine. And as my daughter said, you will live for 7 years. You might be in a deep freeze at the end of it, but you will live for 7 years. But it's incredibly time-consuming to have to do that. And why should all these people have to do that? Why should they?
So one of the reasons Rachel Reeves says she brought this in is to stop wealthy people using it as a way.
No, that was the only reason she did.
Well, no, the other reason was to raise money for public services. Well, have you seen...
Are you listening to this?
Have you tried to get a GP appointment lately?
Yes,
Right.
I just recently had a heart attack.
Okay, so you know it's tough.
Yes.
So where should they get the money from if it's not from farmers?
From farmers.
You
hear that, everyone?
With
BBC
assets.
thinks you should be paying for everything.
Mrs. Clarkson,
Okay,
you
do
know
you
it's
know
not the
how many
BBC
people
speak.
pay inheritance tax in this country?
It's 4% of estates.
What?
4% of estates.
4% pay inheritance tax. 96% of the population of the UK does not pay inheritance tax.
Sure.
After this becomes law, 96% of farmers will.
Where have you got that figure from?
Who here, can I just ask, who here is going to be unaffected by these changes? No one.
Right. Where have you got the 96% figure
Well,
from?
you've got 96%. Well, the same place that Rachel Reeves does, from the middle of her head.
Right.
From the Sixth Form Debating Society that she was no doubt a member of.
Okay.
Which
So-
formed her opinions and yours.
I am not expressing opinions. I'm literally asking you questions. You know that, Mr. Clarkson.
Right.
So, what is your message to this government?
Please back down, please.
And get the money from where?
Well, they've got 40 billion. I'll tell you where you get the... Walk into any of the offices around here. If you don't understand what somebody's job is, fire them.
And how
The civil service is too top, you know that. I must get on.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing intense scrutiny following revelations that he may have avoided paying inheritance tax by transferring land to his parents through a trust established in the 1990s. The report, published by The Times, emerged on the eve of the Labour Party conference, prompting questions about the Labour leader's integrity and raising speculation over his political future. The claims were highlighted during a segment on GB News, where presenter Ben Leo broke the story live to viewers. He questioned whether the Prime Minister had deliberately sought to avoid paying inheritance tax and whether the controversy should force his resignation. Former US diplomat Simon Hankinson joined the programme to provide analysis, describing the situation as embarrassing for Starmer. "I don't know technically whether he avoided inheritance tax, but I would say it's very hard to believe that he didn't consider the tax implications," Hankinson said. Pointing to Starmer's former career as a barrister, he added, "He's a smart guy, a sophisticated man, and presumably well advised. It certainly seems like the trust was designed to minimize or prevent potential tax liability." The issue has resurfaced at a sensitive moment for the government, as debates over inheritance tax intensify. In last year's October budget, Chancellor Rachel Reeves announced the introduction of a 20% inheritance tax on farms valued at more than £1 million, due to take effect in April 2026. The changes have sparked unease within the farming sector, with reports of severe financial distress, including the tragic case of a farmer who took their own life over concerns about the impact of future tax burdens. Leo highlighted the political risks facing the Prime Minister, asking, "Even if Keir Starmer has done nothing legally wrong, where does this leave him from a moral standpoint?" Hankinson responded, embarrassed. Quoting Julius Caesar's famous remark that Caesar's wife must be above suspicion, Hankinson drew a parallel with Starmer's position. "He has to appear above reproach, better than perfect," he said. At a time when the government is preparing to raise taxes to manage the national debt, this revelation undermines his credibility. He has to look like he's doing his part, and this really doesn't help.
Racist.
Now is the time. I feel it inside.
Okay, guys, so you can probably now see that I've been building up a picture about how, you know, the farmers came to go in around the whole of the country with the trailer of truth. There was lots of different things that happened in the build-up to it, the comments from the farmers about what, you know, what's really going to happen to them. Kathy, who I interviewed, she was explaining the effect it would have on farmers. She's a member of the Farmers to Action Committee. And then talking about, you know, the asset wealth and all the rest of it, and then obviously, and the reason I've included the Jeremy Clarkson piece is because he was criticised by the mainstream media for allegedly avoiding inheritance tax, which he's admitted that he did. Excuse me. But what I was trying to put in there is the way that the BBC twisted the whole thing round completely. And he actually points that out, doesn't he? And then she actually admits, you know, well, where else are they going to get the money if not from the farmers? That's a very dangerous statement to make. And then, of course, on the eve of the Labour Party conference, it was revealed that the Prime Minister himself could have avoided inheritance tax, could possibly have avoided paying inheritance tax. I'm just gobsmacked. That in light of the Deputy Prime Minister having to resign because she avoided paying property tax. The Housing Minister had to resign because she evicted people from their properties. allegedly, so there could be a multiple occupancy house, and there were others as well. It just became absolutely bizarre, you know, even to the point where the Chancellor of the Exchequer was actually worried about her job as well. So it's the hypocrisy and everything that I was trying to show there. And what I'm going to show you now, or you're going to listen to, is the audio straight as soon as the trailer of truth comes through. It just went absolutely crazy, and it was amazing to see thousands, literally thousands of members of the public coming to support our farmers. And so I want you to pick up that atmosphere as well as we went to the place where they were holding the speeches as well. So it gets a little bit noisy, it gets that noisy, and I had a really good microphone, a proper interviewer's microphone. It gets noisy, so you probably won't be able to hear me, but you will hear everything that goes on. So the next clip, that's what this is all about. So yeah, I hope you pick up the atmosphere as we were marching behind the trailer of truth, going into the place where we're going to have the speeches, and then after that I'll play the speeches as well. Okay, thank you.
Okay guys, the march has just started now. You've got the coffin in front. No pigs, no farms. And right behind we've got a huge cortege of motorbikes. There must be about 50 of them. All with their farmers' flags, all with the Union flag. This is absolutely outstanding, this is brilliant. And right behind, we've got the tractor that's been going all around the country. Which has been signed by thousands of people putting their comments on to the Labour government. This is just incredible, this is a amazing sight. So right in front of me now we've got the coffin. We've got somebody with a wreath in front of it, and they're walking up to meet a massive army of patriots. There must be at least, from what I can see now, at least 3,000 of them, and there could very well be more. But as you can hear, we've got motorbikes, we've got people with Union flags, we've got people with banners. Wow! This is absolutely incredible. They go up now to the Keir Starmer and know what they think. Wow. There are thousands. They're still trying to get round the corner. I hope Becky's getting all this. Wow. Well done everybody, this is absolutely outstanding. Farmers sucking are being hassled. Yes they are, absolutely they are. This is incredible. The masses are unreal. You just can't move. No to digital ID with our farmers. Banners everywhere. How much tyranny do we need to face before we are condemned? Against censorship. No to digital ID, they're everywhere. Fighting for our freedom. Absolutely. And as this big band comes in now, the trailer of truth that has been signed by hundreds of people. on the back of the trailer. Really well over this. Hard to go. That's on the front of that tractor that you can hear. With that amazing noise. The citizen journalists, they're all here. Say hello to one of them. Hello mate, I'm coming up channel. You're on Green Catcher Radio. Want to make a comment? What's that? You're on Green Catcher Radio. Want to make a comment about this protest? Yeah, say no to digital ID. Say no to it, it's modern day slavery. Say no to it and everyone stand up and stand shoulder to shoulder against it. And tell everybody where they can follow you on YouTube. Yeah, you can follow me on YouTube. I'm English Ned on YouTube. Yeah, it's all worth a follow, guys. Thanks, Ned. Thank you. Wow. Tax society can't believe for engineer digital ID is in place first. That's the average going there. Like, this is unbelievable. You're over Sweden. I'm still recording. I've got loads already. I've got some of the citizen journalists doing a comment as well. But believe me, you cannot see any further. Honestly, look at this. This is just incredible. Absolutely brilliant. Well done to everybody that's turned up today. We're making a stand against this government. Okay, I've taken over for all that. I hope you can hear me. No farmers, no food. 49% of farms are predicted to close. That's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. There we go. Here's a trailer of fruit. Loads of the people stand up, as you can see. Lots of them say mostly farmers, absolutely. Yes, it does. It does, absolutely. Wow. Just look at this. And now what I've got a march behind it as well. Absolutely brilliant. I'll keep it going, guys. I'll keep it going for as much as I can. Okay.
So much money on so many different areas of the economy, whether that's, as you say, £5 billion on digital ID, or some of the public sector pay awards. I mean, why is there being billions of pounds being spent there, when of course more money, more taxes are being raised on farmers and on businesses too? I suppose that is one of the big areas of concern at a protest like this. What the Chancellor, of course, would say is that she needs to raise money, she needs to raise tax, that there is a black hole, as we all know, in the public finances, and that the Chancellor has been having a fairly tough time trying to fill it. So on the government's side of things, what they would say is that they've got to make hard choices, but what people at this protest here would say is the choices that they're making are the wrong ones.
And leave the NI veterans alone.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Well done, man. Well done. Okay, guys, I'm hoping that you got all that recording. It'll be on Facebook and Instagram later as well. So we're going to start the march now with the farmers. We're going as close as they possibly can to the venue where Keir Starmer is no doubt waiting to give his conference speech if he hasn't done so already, and the live meet-out will be out on that day, trust me. Wow.
You stole our voice but not our breath. We've stared you down, we've tasted death. You sold our land, betrayed our name, called us thugs, then hid your shame.
You pause and our children rewrite our past. You flood our streets, erase us fast. But every line and every scar just fuels the fire you've pushed too far.
We won't back down, we won't give in. This is our home and we fight to win. You lie, you cheat, you rule through fear, but the clock is ticking, our time is near.
We won't back down, we won't retreat. We stand as one and we won't be beat. So mark our words, make no mistake. You've poked the beast, now it's wide awake.
You bend our words, then twist the law. Crush our rights with your iron claw. Your lapdog press just sneers and spins, but truth survives and freedom wins.
You call us hateful, mere racist thugs, but we're the fire you failed to snuff. We are the children of those who bled, and we won't kneel, not now, not dead. We won't back down, we won't give in. This is our land, you will not win. We're done with begging, done with shame, done with playing your twisted game. We won't back down nor compromise. We've seen enough, now we must rise. You've ruled through fear for far too long. We are the people and we are strong.
We are the workers, the proud, the free. Not pawns, not pets, not your property. You tried to bury our voice in the dust, but now we rise, 'cause rise we must.
We won't back down, we won't give in, no matter the cost. We must win. You came for the weak, you came for the old. You preyed on the young with hearts so cold. We won't back down, we rise to the call. We watch as your empires crumble and fall. No second chance, no more delay. You pushed too far, now it's time to pay. Knights of old, sword in hand, we rise again to guard this land. You mocked our cross, you spat our creed, but heaven sees and you will bleed. The code still lives in blood and bone. We fight with faith, for we are not alone. Vengeance is his, but we're the hand that brings the judgment on this land.
From the social team, the logistics team, and everybody here has travelled from England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland to make today possible. But the biggest thank you goes to Mr. David King of International Scaffolding for allowing us to have this site here today. Please give David a big round of applause. Now, David is an event organiser in the area, and they are running the Oktoberfest activities at the event centre from the 4th of October. So if you fancy a drink in the area, definitely get involved. So, I'll crack on with my yeah, right, so we've got 12 speakers today, including Gareth Wynne-Jones. Farmers from England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland, as well as business representatives. So I'll kick off with my speech. England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland stand together as one voice for farming and for fairness. Like many here, I fear I may be the last generation to farm our land. No, you won't. My family only owns 65 acres, the rest we rent, and yet we are even on the cusp of paying IHT inheritance tax. If something drastic isn't done, I can guarantee you that within the next 10 to 15 years, every farmer in this country will be paying inheritance tax if they aren't facing it already. And it's not just farmers, it's businesses and every person in this nation with the frozen inheritance tax bracket will be paying this death tax eventually unless we stand together to change that. But farming is different. Farming is a core industry, and when farming suffers, the whole economy suffers. It is well known by every political party in this nation that for every pound invested by a farmer, £7 is created in the rural economy. Yet right now, farmers can't afford to invest. Farmers are closing their businesses at record rates. Businesses that support them are going bust and people are going unemployed, and our economy is collapsing. There is no national security without food security, and right now both are at risk.
Absolutely.
But we stay here today in one voice. Enough is enough. Labour must listen. But if they don't, then we will keep lobbying. We will keep protesting. And this time, we will turn the tables on them and the supermarket. Instead of being forced into unfair contracts in favour of the supermarkets, we are going to start united group negotiations. We will demand a fair share for farmers and put an end to supermarkets profiteering off the public at our expense. By joining together, farmers and the public, we can build a system that is fair and just for all. That's how we win a fair deal for farmers and how we get fair prices in the supermarkets for the general public. But to do that, we must stand together. Alone, a farmer can be picked off. Together, we're unstoppable. So I say this to you. Scan the QR codes, join Farmers to Action, and become part of a movement that will not back down. I want to say thank you for you all being here and supporting us today. It's people like you standing together at protests like this that make all the difference. Without lobbying, protests don't work. But without people turning up to protests, lobbying doesn't work either. You are the people that make the difference, and the difference that will make our country great again. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of the speeches today. Our next speaker is Spencer Campbell, a young farmer and member of East Anglian Farmers. Give a warm hand for Spencer.
Well, firstly, thank you all for having me today. Been invited to stand on stage. Sorry. And for me to be here, I'm a 20-year-old farm worker. I don't own a farm. I'm not from farming, but I've been around farms since I could walk. I've always been so passionate about farming since day one. All I've ever wanted to do was farm. My first word was tractor, and every day, 365 days a year, all I think about is farm. I miss family events for farming, like every other farmer does. We give our lives away to the farm, missing our children growing up for the farm. Everything comes down to the farm. And being here today is a break from the farm for me. As we had a nice social night last night, and bringing farmers together is one positive of all this hassle that we've had. It might be a very expensive hassle, but it's been worth it. There's so many things we can discuss here. Farming mental health, an all-time low. People are miserable in farming. There's suicides left, right and centre. I'm from Suffolk and we've had five this year alone, several of which are my friends. So it's just so hard times for everybody, and I'm just a farm worker. I don't have the stresses of, will the farm survive next year? Will we make a profit? Will we cut even? But still that burden is passed on to me, and I'm worrying every night, what will happen? Will I have a job next year? Where will I go? What's going to happen? This year alone I've lost so much money through not earning, purely because farmers aren't spending. People are not cutting hedges. They're not doing as much cultivation this year, just to make things as cheap as possible. Farmers are working on a 0.5 to 1% profit margin based on investment. It's really tough times for everybody. So being here today is so important, and I'm proud to produce, like every other farmer, through Red Tractor, whether we like Red Tractor or not. But we're the only country to have that set level of standards. So I'm proud to produce locally, sustainable, traceable, high welfare standards. I think that's me covered. One thing I will mention, so I'm part of East Anglian Farmers United. I'm also part of All Farmers. We're trying to push together to have a day of unity before the budget comes in, where we're going to just drive tractors along the road, not causing any hassle, but just some form of rally before the budget, because inheritance tax will destroy the farm.
Take them to Dentown and see to put some manure on.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Spencer. This is about saving the next generation of farmers and making it viable so we can keep feeding you, the nation. So we need more young people like you stepping up to the plate to represent us. Our next speaker is Alan Miller, co-founder of the Together Declaration, representing hospitality. Give him a warm round of applause.
Thank you, Alan. Well, welcome, Liverpool! What are you saying? What an amazing experience. What was that like? The Rolling Thunder guys and the veterans. Big shout out to them. Massive shout out. It's been a really inspiring experience working with Farmers to Action, meeting farmers from up and down the country. Our farmers are the backbone of British society. That's how we get to be fed. That's how our food security is there. And we're not about to allow the technocrats, those authoritarians over in that building, to suffocate and shut down our farming independence. Are we, guys? No! So we got a very clear message today. The trailer of truth, very inspiring, has been going around from Wales with Gareth Wyn-Jones and Digoni Digon. Brilliant. From Scotland, all the Scottish farmers. And of course across England, and we're at Diddley Squat Farm and a range of county shows and live fairs and villages and towns up and down the country. It's been a month-long, brilliant, inspiring trailer of truth where all the public, the great British public, not the names that some in the mainstream media want to call us, not the names that some politicians want to call the great British public, but the backbone as well of our country. They support our farmers, they love our farmers. We all love our farmers, don't we, guys? Yeah! Now the thing is, we've got a message to Keir Starmer, to Liz
represent Scotland, but we are here to be united with you all. This Stuart trailer behind us, it belongs to Ed. Hope us Scottish boys and girls didn't wreck it on the way down, Ed. It wasn't even built 3 weeks ago. And I never even thought this would be possible to tow this trailer with tractor in the time scale that we had, especially at farmers' busiest time of the year. But it just shows that there's too much at stake and the government have got this so wrong. The Scottish trailer, it didn't just get towed here by tractor all the way. It started as high as John O'Groats, right at the top of Scotland. And on its way down, it stopped at dealer depots, haulage parks, marts, distilleries, local events, farm shows, farm shops, just to name a few businesses that's going to be affected by this tax. Lots of people came to sign it, including MPs, MSPs and local councillors, all coming to see it and sign it. This event also raised money for the young farmers, the next generation of food producers, while the public tooted on their way past, noticing the sign in the back, "Beep if you eat." Everyone, countrywide, is affected. Speaking to many farmers recently, even with all the government grants and support funding, this tax is not sustainable to pay over a 10-year period. A good few examples I've heard, even with grant funding, the profit would be half of what their expected inheritance tax bill would be each year. And that is the main problem we have. We're just not profitable enough. We have the most important job in the world, and we shouldn't need to be funded to survive. Farmers, we are sick and tired of working for little return and getting told what we are getting paid, getting told what we are getting deducted from our self-billing invoices, while getting more and more over-regulated each year, jumping through more sustainability hoops, while imports are flooding into our country and pulling our prices down. It's so wrong that farmers caught in their later years and have grafted all their days have been pulled right into this, adding stress to them and their families, giving them no time to plan or save their farm or business for the next generation. They have not only looked after their farm, but they have also cared for everyone's environment and countryside, while producing sustainable food for the nation. How will a 25-year roadmap help these families, Mr. Starmer? Communities are also going to be let down, possibly ruined by these government policies. When there's a flood, snow, storm, wildfire or any crisis, a farmer is always first on the scene to help. We have a great industry, but it could be so much better, and as Trump says, we would never want to go to his penthouse in Manhattan. We just love that dirt, and he has stopped the estate tax. Now, come on and listen, Mr. Starmer. Get this sorted out before it's too late for our farms, rural communities, businesses and everyone's future. Just like to take this opportunity to thank Farmers to Action. There's too many to mention, but thank you for organising this great event. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you to all the other groups which have helped move the Trailer of Truth around. There's too many to list, but without all of your cooperation and help from the public, this event would never have happened. So thank you. Our next speaker is Charlie Walford, a farmer from Somerset and apparently Angela Rayner's tax advisor. Matthew Trevelyan, could you come to the stage in a moment, please? Thank you. Here you go, Charlie.
Morning all. I'm not going to follow in the same vein as all these other wonderful people. I've come up from Somerset. I don't need to tell you all what you know already. None of us have got the money to pay this IHT bill. Mine's going to be about 40 grand a year by rough maths on a farm that made a profit a couple of years ago of 12.5 grand. 10 years, 40 grand a year. I don't know where she thinks we're going to find it, but invariably have to sell half the farm to pay the bill. My whinge is going to be slightly different. I thank all of you for turning up. Well done for making the effort. And as I said before, everyone who's organised this, I would lean on all of you to speak to all of your neighbouring farmers. all the land agents, the contractors who supply your livestock kit, the tractors, the mowers, whatever it is you buy. This is going to affect all of them. We are sleepwalking into the collapse of not just rural England, but a huge part of the economy. We're great, we're here, we're all standing here miles away from those numpties over there not listening, but you've got to lean on your mates. We are stronger together, but if we don't tell all of our neighbouring businesses and farming friends to get involved as well, it's not going to have the weight behind it that I think it needs. These lads and ladies have made a great start, but there needs to be more voices heard.
Yes.
That's all I've got to say. Keep up the great work, support everything that you do already, and yeah, I can't say what I want to, but yeah, we all have the same concept.
There is no food. Without soldiers, there is no protection for our lands. In a time when the very foundations of our society, those who feed us and those who defend us, are being undermined by political decisions, it is no longer enough to stand silently. The farmers' protest and the Operation Justice campaign may seem worlds apart, but they are bound by a shared struggle. The fight against a government that has forgotten the value of service, sacrifice and sustenance. Across the UK and beyond, farmers are rising up against policies that threaten their livelihoods, their land and the future of food security. Whether it's unfair subsidies, environmental mandates that ignore agricultural realities, or trade deals that undercut local produce, the message is clear. Those who grow our food are being pushed to the margins. Their protest is not about economics, it's about dignity, survival, and the right to be heard. Meanwhile, veterans of Northern Ireland, many now elderly, face the spectre of retrospective prosecutions for actions that were taken during Operation Banner, a deployment that spanned nearly 4 decades. These men and women served under immense pressure, often life or death situations, and helped bring about the peace Northern Ireland enjoys today. Yet current government proposals threaten to reopen old wounds, casting aside legal protections, subjecting veterans to modern judgments for historic actions. As we speak, Soldier F, in his 70s and an unwell man, is on trial in Belfast for an incident that happened over 50 years ago. Yet no terrorist who murdered in their hundreds are facing historical trials. Terrorists are given letters of comfort by a previous Labour government that the government say are not worth the paper they are written on, yet refuse to rescind them. What does that tell you about their worth? Both movements are rooted in a deep betrayal. Farmers and veterans alike are being treated not as pillars of society, but as expendable liabilities. Their their decades of service to land and to country are being rewritten, ignored or punishment. The government's actions reflect a dangerous trend, the erosion of respect for those who have given the most. This is not just about policy, it's about principle. It's about recognizing the strength of a nation lies not in its rhetoric, but in how it treats those who sustain and defend it. Let the farmers' tractors and the veterans' medals stand side by side. Let their voices echo through Westminster and beyond, because without farmers, there is no food. And without soldiers, there is no protection for our citizens. Us veterans have a saying, if they will not listen, we will shout louder. Yeah. Let's hear some noise. If they will not listen, what will they do? Shout louder!
Let's give Paul a large round of applause for Paul. Thank you very much for all the veterans here today and for your service. There is no national security without your sacrifice for our nation, and we thank you for everything that you do. Give them a big round of applause, please. Our next speaker is Stephen Wainwright, a farmer from the Derbyshire counties.
Right, are we all listening? It's about family and food for me. Just give you a brief history. Mother's one of 5, father's one of 3, so I've got 8 uncles, aunties, mums and dads, all farming. Started off top of Cheshire, emigrated into Derbyshire and Staffordshire. So I've got umpteen cousins, so it's in the blood, right? Now, we were only tenanted farmers donkeys years ago, and we thought we needed to better ourselves for security. Any business would think the same, doesn't have to be farming. So that's what we did. Then Tony Blair came along in 2009. Right? Changed it off, giving the subsidies. Yes, we got subsidies, but it wasn't just for us. It was to keep food low and against disease, against different things, against imports. Anyway, so moving on, so that's what our family did. We invested, big mortgage round your neck, and then look where we are now. Big mortgage round us necks, and now this lot won't take it off us. I've got 3 children, and 2 of them are already well into wanting it. Now, they want us gone. It's not about the money, ladies and gentlemen. The big fat cats, the monster landowners, the different businesses, it doesn't affect them, they're all in trusts. Yeah. Right? They can get round it, they've got fancy accountants or whatever. It's not the small people, not belittling them, but it's the family farmers in the middle. They are feeding this nation and other nations. Right? We've had NFU saying, oh, the latest trade deals are going to be good for British farmers. Right? AHDB have actually worked for the money this last several years since Brexit. We're exporting more of different producers than we ever have before. So all what they're telling us, that's a lie. So back to the food production, ladies and gentlemen, and our children, right? They want the land off us family farms. If it isn't going to go this generation, it's going to go the next generation. So we can't be here listening to all this bullmuck what we're listening to. We know what we're on about in our family businesses. Now, they're jealous of us because we do that extra hour at nights, we do that extra hour at weekends because it's a family business, right? All the other businesses are just the same. Doesn't matter whether you're a carpenter's shop or a blacksmith or any family business will do that bit extra. So we are keeping food price low even without subsidies, and this government don't like that. They want some of us or all of us gone out of the way. They're going to do it gradual like they always do, just to take the fight out of us bellies. So this has changed my life. But you know what I always say? You've got to back your farmer, not Starmer. So we'll leave it on that note. Thank you.
There's some unbelievably tough speakers to sort of live up to right now. There's been yeah, better? Everyone hear me? Okay, cool. Speakers so far have been absolutely brilliant. People actually speaking from the heart. Something that our industry's been missing for a very long time. I'm going to start with the thanks before I get into things. We got a massive thank you to Staines Trailers that put this rig on for us to get through this. We've got a huge thank you to say to Stuart Trailers that got a trailer built for one of our members to get this going. A big thank you to Arthur Williams for letting us have that trailer. There's been an unbelievable amount of effort from that entire industry. Wider industry being those that know their jobs are on the line if we go. Yeah. right? And that is the most magical thing that a lot of us have seen, of how many people have just gone, put their hand out and gone, we're here to help. Because the only way we can do this is help our own industry. From a very early age, I wanted to be a farmer. And that's how I got to this point. I have spent the last 40 years of my life wondering and thinking, why on earth does food not pay? Why on earth can people not make a living from, other than water, the second thing that every single person needs? And it got to a point that I started doing something called the Effing Farmer. And that seemed to reach out to a lot of people. And that was me speaking from my frustrations and a lot of anger. So myself and a lot of others decided, to move this thing called Farmers to Action. It did actually start off as Southwest Farmers, and it started growing at way too big a speed than I could ever imagine. Our industry has been under attack by men in suits for a very long time. People that have no idea of what our industry is about, giving us rules and legislation that we've got to abide by, right? And they have absolutely no comprehension. I would not go and tell a banker how to do his job. I would not go and do it to a politician and tell him how to do his job. But it looks like we're here and we've got to, because they're absolutely useless. If taxes were reworded as fines, we're fined in life. We are fined to own a property. We are fined to sell a house. And now we are fined to die. And that is how brutal this is getting. People slander farmers, saying this is about us and about money. This is not. Farmers to Action's key message through the whole of this is abolish IHT for everyone in this country. No one should have to work their lives, pay tax, and then give it to a government. The point we've got to, I've got a 2-year-old toddler, and I would trust her to spend the British budget better than the politicians that we've got. Farming is becoming this country's most expensive hobby. It used to be boating and equestrian. Most farmers now are having to work 2 to 3 extra jobs in order to stay in the industry they love. Farming is about a lifestyle. It's not, we don't perceive it as work. We perceive it as something that we love to do. We go out in all weathers, we work all hours, and it's a privilege to do it. But we keep having people in suits with ties telling us what to do, when we just need less government in this day and age. We need less government, less rules, and less legislation. And it's not just about farmers. The fishing industry have been attacked for years. And this is a time where industries need to unite together. It is an absolute privilege to stand here with all you veterans. An absolute privilege. Because where is a country if it cannot be watered, fed, and kept safe? Farming is in a very dark point. It's getting to the point that this is no longer just about farms. This is about saving lives. There is all sorts of rumours of tallies of farmers that have taken their own lives, and it is not being spoken about. To lose one life is a tragedy. To lose more than one life, I haven't got a word to actually throw into that. Agriculture at the moment has lost way more lives than any of us want to talk about. There is a number that is going around, but I can't say it because it is not backed up by fact. But there is industry representatives that are keeping that secret. So the biggest thing I'm going to just finish on, this is not just about saving farms, this is not just about saving fisheries, this is not about just about veterans, this is also about saving lives. Plural. This country needs to be put in a far better place, and what we've got over there is not going to be the ones that do the job.
He doesn't want me here too long. Thank you very much for everybody coming here. Think about where we are, we're in Liverpool. They've got a song. you never walk alone. Even the Evertonian supporters will back us, because we are not gonna walk alone, and we're not here today to walk alone. All you people are here to support the farming communities. And do you know what? We're supporting you, because we're feeding you once, twice or 3 times a day. And them numpties over there have got no idea what it takes to put food on their plates. Let's build a better Britain. On our bellies, people. We have to work together to find solutions. And honestly, it's heartbreaking. I've got a big social media platform, and I'm telling you, I have spoken to people that are ready to commit suicide because of the pressure they are under. This is ridiculous. The people that are working 7 days a week to try and feed the nation affordable, seasonal, healthy, nutritious food are being attacked. Not just by this government, but by bigger players, by the liberal elites. Don't you forget that. And they will try and cancel us, and they will try and silence us, but they will never silence the people. Be careful of the WEF, United Nations. They are trying to bring the numbers of livestock down for a reason. And if you don't wake up and smell the coffee, you're going to go hungry. And for me as a farmer, personally, I've told my father, he's 89, he has to outlive the term of these idiots. And I'm sure he will, just to be spiteful. As he's one hell of a man. He's never had a passport, he's never had a holiday, and he's paid his bloody taxes. He doesn't deserve to go to that grave and pay all them taxes again. We're undervalued in life and overvalued in death. That's the sign on this trailer. Don't ever forget it. Build a better Britain on our bellies, and let's have a farming food revolution and get rid of this stinky, horrible government ASAP. I wanted to sing Keir Starmer is a, but I'm going to leave that right there.
Keir Starmer's a wanker.
That's the one.
Starmer's a wanker. Keir Starmer's a wanker.
Thank you very much, Gareth, and thank you everyone for coming today. Now, who wants to make them hear you? In a moment, we've got people out there going for a walk. Do you want to join them for a walk to see the Labour Parliament and the country? Then give us 5 minutes to get this packed up, and when you hear people on the megaphone, walk peacefully behind them. As I said, when we leave, we want that site cleaner than when we arrive, because we are people with morals who stick to our word, unlike this government.
I want my country back, our culture we must save, where harmony once stood before the tidal wave. Let us rise from the ashes, reclaim what we've lost, in the name of our fathers, no matter what the cost. In the whispers of night, through the cries of despair.
Okay guys, so we've just walked from where we were having the speeches and everything, and we've actually come down, as you can see, right outside where the Labour Party are having their conference.
Support the farmers!
Oh my god, he'll be wetting himself. He'll be absolutely peeing himself now.
And he hates Liverpool anyway, don't forget. He got caught saying, I hate fucking Liverpool. Yeah, he's not even staying here, he's buggered off to a hotel in St Helens apparently. Little shit. There you go, guys. I think he's going to be wetting himself now. Oh yeah, this is all very interesting. He's not going to like this one little bit. They're going to call us peasants. This is what you do when you unite the country. Because that's about the only decent thing you've done is unite this country.
Even Thatcher couldn't do that. Digital one will be the first door for digital ID and the end of freedom.
Let's take a look down there, guys. I don't know if you can see. Big line of police stopping us off from going any further. Surprised they haven't got the riot shields with them.
Say no to any further digital rights and a total no to all digital ID. The only way is total no.
They're not holding those.
Stop Digi ID! 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 And of course, let's say, Starmer, this is your protest! 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 And to everyone around the world, you know what to say. Resist! Defy! Do not comply! Resist! Defy! Do not comply! Resist! Defy! Do not comply! Defy! Do not comply! Resist! 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 Come on, guys, we're doing it! Do not comply! Resist! Defy! Do not comply! Come on, everyone! We're going to go.
Dreamcatcher Radio is about capturing and creating dreams through music, chat, and debate. Empowering expression, enriching society. A go-to place for unsigned musical talent. A radio station which listens to its audience. Free speech, vibrant, engaging. Stream worldwide 24/7. Events, competitions, promotions. Always keen to have a listening ear. Contact us. hello@dreamcatcherradio.com.
Dreamcatcher